If you're really struggling moving on from the past and feeling complete, that is, you are looking for closure and you might not be able to find it, there are things that you can do to connect with a sense of closure in your own heart and mind. And I'm going to talk to you about that today so that you can step forward into the new year, into tomorrow, into the next day, whenever you're finding this video, on a foot that feels empowered and complete. Let's get to it. The number one thing that keeps us from accessing closure is the belief that you need something exterior to you, a person or a thing or an experience, to give you a sense of closure. And if that is you, if you feel like someone could give you a sense of closure through a conversation or by providing you a certain amount of information or context or an experience, I want to debunk that a little bit, because closure is created within. Only you get to decide when you are complete. And it can feel really difficult to do that if something was taken away from you prematurely and you weren't ready to let go of it in that moment. Now, I personally believe that everything happens exactly as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to. And the way that you can access a sense of closure is by making meaning out of the experience that you've had in a way that moves you towards the person you want to be and the way that you want to feel. So even if it is a very painful experience that you're having, and I know many of you might be in that situation where a relationship ended before you were ready for it to, someone passed away, you lost something that was very important to you, right? It can feel really big and intense and painful in the body, like some part of you has been broken. And I get it. I have been there. I've felt the crippling grief of longing for something that used to be, but I no longer have access to or the ability to continue to create, right? That relationship that fell apart, that person that passed away, that opportunity or that future that you're releasing, or it was kind of felt like the rug was slipped out from under you, right? There are so many things that happen to us that we are not in control of. And your job in these instances, if you want to be in an empowered state of being, is to trust your life and the process that you're going through, and to trust that everything is happening to your benefit if you are able to slow down and identify exactly how this opportunity is helping you move towards that life you want to have, the person that you want to be, in the way that you want to feel. So the first step to finding closure for yourself from this empowered state of being is to slow down and just connect to the body. So the first thing that I want you to do is just feel the grief. Feel the sadness, feel the resentment, feel the anger. Allow it to be exactly as it is. Breath work is an incredible tool for this. Journaling, nature walks, therapy, processing conversations. There are so many different ways that can support you in just feeling the feeling. Because if you're agitated with it and you're trying to force it out of your body, or you're trying to change it, or you wish it weren't there and you resent the feeling that you're feeling, it's just going to get tighter and tighter and more deeply woven into your body. So the first step is always just to feel the feeling and to let it be. And some of you are going to really struggle with this because you've never slowed down enough to feel your feelings. So you're not going to find safety in the body when you do that. And I promise you that if you just take baby steps, you will get there. You will start to build your tolerance for feeling those feelings and being with your body long enough to find out what wisdom those feelings have for you. Okay? Just use breath work. If you're not sure what to do, I've got a breathwork video for it. I always guarantee it, right? So pick one that feels like it's the best fit and just start slowing down and practicing a few minutes every day, feeling that feeling, okay? Once you are able to feel the feeling and actually acknowledge it and witness it lovingly and compassionately, with curiosity, like you want to understand it, you want to see it and feel it and understand it, you're going to be able to ask it what it needs you to know and what it needs you to do. All right? I mean, literally, ask the resentment, what do you need me to know in this moment? It will speak to you. You might experience silence in the beginning, but your body and your intuition, your inner voice will speak to you through that sensation of that feeling, and it will give you the most powerful wisdom ever, which is what comes from your body and your innate soul and your spirit, right? So you're going to ask that emotion that you're having, the sense of non-closure, the grief or the anger, what it needs you to know and what it needs you to do. Be at peace with that. It might take time for that message to come through. You might ask it at a time when your body doesn't feel safe enough to release that information, right? So just stick with it. Journal, write things down. There's no right way to do this. We're just exploring and we're playing. That's why it's called creative coping. We're trying to creatively give our body what it needs in order to process fully the emotional experiences that it's having. But once you have this piece of what it needs you to know and what it needs you to do, you're going to be able to access closure within. Because the body will always direct you to things that you are in control of doing. All right? If it's telling you, I need these people to do this thing, go deeper. That's a defense mechanism still, protecting you, telling you I'm not ready for you to be in your body, right? Your inner voice and your intuition is always going to be very matter of fact. It's not going to be upset or escalated in any emotion. It's going to be neutral and confident and calm. And it will tell you what you need to do in order to live in your highest alignment with self, okay? Then you're going to take some really, really deep breaths, because it might ask you to do something that makes you feel nervous and uncomfortable. And I want you to trust that thing as long as it does not harm or damage you or anyone else, because your intuition will never tell you to do something like that. It won't. So connect, get the wisdom, and then take that aligned action. Or access the wisdom of what it needs you to know. That in and of itself, that knowledge might be enough to offer you closure from the experience, because it makes meaning out of the experience in a way that helps you grow and to develop into the person that you've always wanted to be. It moves you forward out of the past into the present in a way that feels encouraging, inspiring, or in alignment for you, all right? But nobody else, no other thing is ever going to be in control of giving you closure. It's not always something that's available to you. It's really nice. It's such a gift when we do get that sense of closure from a relationship. We get to have those conversations. We get to feel seen and heard and felt. We get clarity and understanding. We get connection. But it is not always available to us. And so often, it's not an option. And so we go within to find all of those things here. We find the connection by connecting to the feeling. We find the clarity by getting that inner wisdom to speak through us to our conscious mind, right? We see ourselves, we hear ourselves, we feel ourselves. And through that process, I absolutely guarantee you, closure will move into your body. You will access that sense of wholeness again that is inherent to you. You can't lose it. You cannot be an unwhole person. You can just choose to feel fractured and to maintain that belief that you were missing something that you desire. But everything is always within you. And just be patient with the process, because it will come through. And you don't have to bypass the emotion. The emotions are there to teach you. They're a beautiful part of the process, and they are always the first bridge that you are going to cross when you're seeking an empowered action, an aligned action to take, right? When you're seeking knowledge and wisdom, the emotion is the way through. And once you get comfortable with that process, closure no longer feels challenging. You're able to access it very quickly. And you step from one stepping stone to the next as the river beneath you changes and flows, and you go with the changes of life. Because that is the only constant that you will ever have in this life is change. It's the only predictable phenomenon for you. Why not figure out how to work with it, eh? So many of us are stuck and we avoid it and we want to shut it down and we want to control the change and figure things out before they happen. And we want to change the past and we want to just rework everything instead of being with what is. The thing you're seeking closure for already happened exactly as it happened. I'm not saying it was fair. I'm not saying it was good, but it happened. So now you get to choose what to do with that experience and how you're going to make meaning out of it. Follow this process of feeling the feelings, getting the wisdom from it, and moving forward through action and feeling and belief towards the person that you want to be. And that closure will be within you. This is a beautiful thing to look at the end of the year, to look at the beginning of the year, and to use throughout your life. Who do you want to be, and how have your experiences helped you towards being that person and living the life that you want to live on earth? You get to decide. All right? I love you so much. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are you seeking closure on? What meaning can you make out of that experience? Like this video if it's helpful to you and subscribe for more. These videos come out every Wednesday. Mwah! Love you so much. Happy New Year, everybody.